Alright, we're back to the STD heads here. So we're on set 3 for today. So this is the STD shovelhead panhead heads, which are basically they're panhead heads, but they have shovelhead ports in them. They have panhead rocker arms, but the ports are all shovelhead, so it's got a Y port instead of a T port. And the exhaust is could be either a single bolt or 3-bolt, depending on what you want. So that's how they do it. So these ports here are shovelhead design, not a panhead design. So this is a 93-inch motor because it has a big bore in here. So this means we're going to do a little more work on this one. So on those panheads we had some ports that were a little on the small or big side, and these ports are already quite a bit smaller than a panhead port, surprisingly. Go find a panhead port around here. Those things look a lot dinkier than what we were just dealing with. So front head is this one. Okay, so this is the same head. See how this port is made? You got like kind of a rough ass tongue thing sticking in there. This one here, the tongue is a lot deeper down than that tongue. So this port has not been cut out as big as this panhead head one was, which is kind of weird. You'd think the panhead would have a bigger port, but I mean a smaller port, but no. There's the exhaust, that's pretty huge. And this one's pretty big too, but this one actually is a little bigger looking, but yeah, see it's cut deeper through here. See how high this one is? This one here is more straight. So this is a lot bigger here, but it's smaller here. And we're putting a big motor together, so we want more flow. This is a 74-inch motor, this is a 93-inch motor. Okay, so here's our intake port. You can see how huge this thing is. And this one here is pretty good size also. But the port is cut a lot bigger than what the seat is. There's actually a big low spot right here where my finger is. It's high here, low in the middle. This one over here, this one's more evenly cut. So this one here, they got lazy, they didn't cut this hump out when they made it. This one here, they did, so this is a better port. Yeah, this port's a lot better than this port over here. We lose our light? No, it's on. So much for being equal. Alright, so what we're going to do is, instead of the panhead, we open up these ports here, the throats. On this one here, we're going to open up a little bit bigger because this one is a bigger motor. So we won't sacrifice the velocity because the motor itself is bigger. It'll have the velocity automatically. There you go, leave that head there. Run out of room. And these are stock heads over here, so they're really different looking, see? Alright, so my cutter was already set over here. So we did this 175 thou smaller diameter than the exhaust valve, which we don't have any valves yet. It appears the helper is getting lazy and not helping us. Yeah, I found some valves. Yeah, I think I use these ones here. They're just laying around. Nobody's using them. We use these ones. Okay, so you got 2 intakes, 2 exhausts. So these are 1 3/4 inch. We cut this for 175 thou less in diameter. So now we're going to make it 150 thou less diameter than this. So this is 750. So we're going to go down to 600. This is cut at 575 right now, because I want 175 less. So the way we do that is we take this and spin it on down. Should stop at our 25 number. So see how you got 25 right there. The camera's picking it up. Should know. So we're gonna go ahead and move this out 25 thou more to the 50 right there, and that will be 1/600. So all I can do is move this bit out a little bit, and we'll have 1/600. And we'll cut a bigger hole. That's how we do it around here. Now if you want to go faster than that, we can go even bigger. We can't go much bigger. 125 is about the upper limit. That's only for really high RPM motors. If you can run over 5,000 RPM pretty much all the time, you go 125. My race bike, I've done as low as 100, but that's getting pretty far out there. Okay, so now this should be set for 1/600 now. There you go, close enough. 97. I can live with that. So now I'll go ahead and cut that out. Take a lot of metal out of that seat, which is good. I like cutting metal out. Alright, so let me go in there and bore the piss out of that seat right there. Now we're cutting aluminum. Okay. That got opened up a little bit. So now we have, this is a lot thicker now than this one over here. See, this one here, my fingers don't fit in there. This one here, they fit in no problem. Okay, so now the port here is going to have to get opened up because they got too small. So we're going to come in there with another cutter and bleed that out. So this one here needs to be opened up also. Okay, so we're going to take my cutter, and what I do is I take this, my outside throat cutter that cuts out here on the outside of the port. We go ahead and readjust it to the inside of the port, and we're going to cut the inside. I guess I'll use that for now. Get to readjust my cutter now. Just drop it down. So you run that thing all the way inside. Okay, I need to go a little bit more than this. Okay, that should be good. So this is going to have to be hand ported later, but for now this will work what we want to do with it. Okay, now this spring here is going to be a problem. We don't have room for the spring in here and everything else. It's kind of tight. So you gotta go up here and find some other spring I got laying around that's smaller. Like one of these. That's already been wadded up 3 or 4 times already. That's not the one we're going to use though. I'm going to use this one. Okay. so I'm going to figure out how much we're going to go down on this thing. So we're hitting right there. There's our depth stop. We're going to go down about 1/8 of an inch with this. The starting point. Okay. Alright, so we got that cleaned up a little bit. Now we can determine how far we want to drop this thing down. So we're cutting the fin out that's back behind that guide right now, so that controls a lot of different things, that area in the back. One thing about a head machine is you can't control what that is doing there, so you either cut it out or you leave it. So I'm cutting it out a little bit. Now, so that kind of sizes my port up right under here. Now I can just determine if I want to make that bigger by going deeper, or do I stop right there and just hand point the piss out of it. So I was hoping to get a more cutting than that, but I didn't do that. Because we're hitting on this stupid tongue right now. It's in the way. So the tongue is kind of limiting the airflow a little bit. You got to determine if you think that's going to help your port or hurt it. Depends on how the air is coming through the port, in the chamber. If it's flowing nice and evenly, theoretically it's good, but if it's coming all from one side, like if it comes from this side, it's being blocked because the air can't get in there. So it's just a matter of what you think the ports are doing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at that point right there, and we'll go in there and just hand port the rest of that and cut the piss out of it. So now we got this one down, we'll go over and do this head. So this one here was a little bit off. The level's off a little bit, so I'm going to change that. Get that level back where I want it to be. Yeah, it's closer. Close enough. Okay, so now take our spring, our big one. Put it right there. Take our big cutter. Put it right there. Turn that down to about right there. It's a bit more tricky around here. There's the port right there. So, set this up. Start cutting. Okay, so now that is done. It got cut a little bigger. Your ports are small on this motor compared to the panheads. Huh. Shovelheads don't need big ports, I guess. Crappy little motors like they are. See, panheads are the good motors. They got big ports. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one here. There you're back. I can get two hands back now. I kind of need two hands to do this one. last one. Now you got a big funnel right here. We're going to open this up a little bit. The tongue that was in there has kind of gone away. This one had a lot more tongue on it than this one. It's pretty constipated over here, so I got to open all this stuff up anyway. So I think it's a good point for here. We're trying to build velocity, not peak power, so we'll blend this in more of an angle into the port. The panhead was cut a lot deeper straight down. If you look at the panhead over there in the end, it's a big difference. This intake port's totally different too. Put your finger in there, feel that one. See the big lumpus in there?
Yeah.
Feel the other one. Feel the difference? See, this one's made right. This one here, not quite as good.
It has a little lump right there, but it's not as big as that one. Yeah,
That one's got a damn
huge.
It's got a sand dune in that sucker.
You can see it too.
Oh yeah. So anyway, ports are opened up bigger now. I had to readjust my cutter. Make room.
So we went that 150 that we were talking about earlier?
Yep. Just the valve guide, our stem, make sure it didn't move on us because it did a lot of load on that thing. Recenter it, should be good. Blow this one off. Okay, that one's done. Move on to the real work. Let's see. I think I'm on this one right now. So that's the flat part of the seat. The curved part's over there. That's going to go away. That'll go away. I'm going to make this more accurate now than before, because before I just roughed it in. Okay. Side looks still halfway close. I think they're slightly different. Little fine tuning. Okay, we're good to go now. We're gonna make it. See how it jiggled on it?
No.
I did. I didn't like it. First time I won't do that. It dropped down and didn't center because it did over here. It knocked off center when I turned the machine on, it's kind of like an orbit. So I hit the foot trigger. My foot was on the trigger anyway, but it didn't release yet. So I always hit him just so I turn it on.
Yeah. Seat appears to be off center a little bit. Okay, come back and recenter everything. Find its happy spot. Okay, I think it's, yep, looks like it is. See, I'm looking for that top angle, just like on the other seat. See the little top angle right there? Yeah.
Same as the other, go ahead. You gotta make sure you get it all the way around. Appears to be all the way around. So that one's done. See, modifications take longer to do than a seat cutting does. But that's because we already got the cutter set. fine-tuning moves. Things move around a little bit. It's good. I'm getting as close as I can. That again. Weird. Never had it done it before, and I did it twice in a row. What the hell's causing that? Could be because I'm tired. Screwed up. Don't know what I'm doing. Lazy ass hair pattern. Probably more what it is. That comes in pretty quick when it does. It's hard to see the mark.
You kind of see it.
Yeah, it's a little. Could go a couple more swipes to make sure it's the same as the other one. That looks better. Looking at that mark right there, same one on the back side. Yeah, it's a little bit thinner. Over here it's a little bit thinner, so yeah, it's alright. It's close enough.
Yeah, you can see it when the light hits it at a certain angle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little. It's there, just not quite as deep as this one, but it's close enough. The fiber's throwing 10 thou deeper most. If the heads are marginal clearance, I'd go more deeper, but I know it's probably got a lot of clearance, so don't worry about it. Alright, so. Looks like 3 pounds wider right there. Okay, this one is the front. Big R rear. So these valves big or small?
Should be the same size as the other ones, right?
They're stock, yeah.
Yeah.
A really big hot motors, I actually put a smaller valve in
Really?
it. Yeah, these are too big. I don't need these big ass valves in here. 1/700 works good. Twin cams are only 1/9/16. Evas are only 1, not even 5/8 Eva, a little under. These things are 1/8 inch bigger. They don't need to be 1/8 inch bigger. Shit, those motors are twice as big as the damn motors are.
Little suction cups right there.
Yeah, no, it's somewhere. Got lost. Oh, look at that. Junk. A big black mark all around. Big circle. What's up with that? Must be defective. Oh, that one matches. See?
nice all the way around.
See how they're different? This one has a little edge around it. This one doesn't.
Tiny one.
Very tiny.
Yeah.
Looks like this valve's bigger than that one. Is it?
Yep. Slightly.
What should be smaller?
Watch it be smaller.
52. 51.
Thou.
It's just how the seat cuts. For whatever reason, the cutter was thinner when you did that one. Same cutter, just how it cuts. They cut how they want to. Okay, so you want to make sure you got a nice even gray mark all the way around. Appears to be good. Good. Now see how we still have an inside cut on this? See,
Yeah.
there's still a little bit of radius in here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still got some active cutter going on. Now the bigger you make this hole, the less active that is. Remember how the other one was about this deep down?
Yeah.
See, we lost about a third of that angle when we cut it out. Yeah, probably almost a half, about 40% of it at least. That's because we're going further down the cutter. See, it's going away from you. So if you got a real small port, you're cutting way down here. And the more you make the port bigger, you get higher and higher up next to your seat. So the less important than multiple angles and stuff become when you start pulling way the hell out. They don't tell you that in the quoting catalog.